Alrighty. We are back into Sunless Sea. Had a very nice dinner. What happened last time? We got an upgrade for our engine and gun. So now we're green level. So plus 15 crew damage. Crew damage. What do you mean crew damage? What does that mean, crew damage? Crew damage 2. Damage 1. What does that mean, crew damage? Is it times multiply how many crew members you have? Times like 1 to add to the... Well, I think I am going to try to hire some more crew. So we're fully stocked. Rare pickings. Your tall tales find us ready audience. Scarred and seasoned men and women tramp aboard and find places to sling hammocks. Okay. Lost 1 terror. Gain new 2 crew 11. But we only have enough for 10. Okay. Well, last time we fully stocked ourselves with fuel and food and supplies. Oh, one thing I want to do though, I don't know if I'm able to, but I'm now keeping a list of things that we need to get for other colonies, which again, I reiterate, I wish this game actually could save those little quests to like a little journal or something, but can't, so I'm writing everything down. Let's see. I don't think we can buy anything right now, but let's see here. Yeah, no, can't buy anything. Of course, we don't have enough in our hold either. That might come later. I want to save up. We're going to save up for a good ship. Right now, we're just on scouting out the map. We're now going to go south, and then right, and then up. And see where that takes us. And we'll... stop here. Get some additional fuel. Speak to the crew. Lose terror that way, which is good. Purchase 1 fuel. Thank you. Upcoming is Mutton Island. We shall stop there. All right, now we can why is this the same? Yeah, I remember we have to actually buy the port report. Them noticing our engine is receding a bit quicker than normal. I think that is because we now have a much stronger engine. So that is going to it is gonna take our fuel a little bit faster. Depending on how much that takes, we might have to head back a little sooner. We are going faster though, which is good. A row of watchful Z-bats hang from a cable, their heads swivel in unison as you cross the deck. Ah, the August Rider needed to come here. As before, my lord, here is the payment for bringing me here. I'll be back by nightfall. We'll speak more then. By evening bell, the travel writer sets swiftly into the port, his briefcase hanging easily at his side. In the middle of your afternoon tea, a crowd rushes by the cafe. They gather at the foot of a lamppost, gawking, shrieking, gasping. A woman is strung from the light, her face sliced like Venetian blinds. Heavens! A pale navigator whispers. Isn't she the explorer? Said she meant to plant a flag on the Z-bed? No one replies. You spy the travel writer in the crowd, frowning. Okay, got some echoes. That's good. Final request. Are you the Jack of Smiles? The August travel writer makes a few notes in his journal as you walk back to your ship. His suit is immaculate, though his hands are ink-stained. I have one last port to visit, he says quietly. There's 200 echoes in it for you this time. Okay, 200 echoes for the last voyage. You can consider it done. Final chapter. The runner snaps shut his journal. I've one last Swiss to visit, Khan's Heart. Take me there whenever is most convenient. Notable stories in a turn of where August Rider goes. So that is southmost area. We could go to the surface, but I'm not really wanting to do that right now. So you need 22 fuel, 2 supplies. With menaces. No more than that. Listen for surface gossip. And get a port report. The gates open and shut. The locks remain free from sabotage. If anything besides London is safe in all the undersea, it's here. The surface nations have an interest in keeping the way open. Okay. Let's buy some more fuel. Down to the Iron Republic. Sizzling vapors rise from the sea. Time slips sideways. A coil of rope has strung a stoker, and his fellows beat it to death. You're under the hand of the Iron Republic. I forgot I could do my horn. A sailor raises her head and sniffs sharply. Blood is on the wind. Let's first get a port report. Gain 1 heart. Cannoneer. They need surely this badly. This will increase, probably this will increase your terror. Perhaps something else horrible will happen. We're not going to do that. Engage an officer, the irascible cannoneer. Okay. Welcome aboard. Oh, this is interesting. Room for improvement. There's always room for improvement. Wait, let me make notes. Paper. Irrepressible cannoneer. Ah, gunner officer. Nice. Speak to you. Hello, what can I do for you? I have lists. The cannoneer to dine with you. I have had enough to eat, thank you. I don't eat much, but I'd like to demonstrate some ideas I've had. Can you let me on the after deck at 8 bells? Increase your iron. Excellent. That's at the top of my list. Spend a secret to increase your iron. A little explosion. Oh my word, we need to... Sorry about that. There. That's out. Only smoke. Look at that. There. All's well that ends well, and in the end all manner of things shall be well. Oh, I took some of my hull. Yeah. Right, well, I'm not going to do that again. Ooh, fuel. Market of Hungers. Use a Market of Hungers choice under story to access more goods. Fire in the belly. The market always sells fuel. Use a market story choice for more goods. Very cheap fuel. Thank you. High engineer. Increase my veil a little bit. It's at 30. It's nice. All right, what else do we have? Market of Hungers. A new day comes. Visit Shop Tab. After this visit, the Parliament will no longer be here. Republic will seek soup and supplies instead. Ah, House of Pleasures. So that's what that does. I see, I see. Okay. All right. Jolly good. We haven't checked out what's down here yet. Coastline. Stay away from that big old brigand. That thing is trouble. Oh, what do we got? Grand Geode, some distance to the south. Came on deck. Ooh. All star flares. Fades. Grand Geode, a distant song like a mirage. A naval base with Iron Navy emblems, curiously amended. Efficient, bright-eyed women and men work briskly everywhere you look. They are singing hymns with unfamiliar words. Hard-faced Royal Marines watch you carefully, bearing entry into the geode's heart. A plaque by the docks has been defaced with orange paint, but you can still make out the original inscription, Station 5, Adjunct. Asked to speak with someone in authority. What is this place? Compile a report. What does the Admiralty know or want to know? Take discreet note. The Marines are watching us. Effective workers sing vigorously. Keen eyes observe. What is this place? The Commodore may be able to give you a few minutes. The Commodore shakes your hand warmly. He's a handsome, open-faced fellow in an immaculate Navy uniform. His office is equally handsome. It overlooks the glittering interior crystal cliff. It may be well lit as any study underneath. He deflects questions about the purpose of this installation. Classified, you know, but smiling offers tea, biscuits, and mineralogical anecdotes. The biscuits are good, but anecdotes rather blend one into the next. You find yourself nodding, then jerk suddenly awake. The Commodore is smiling. Your cup is empty. You feel well, very well, a little euphoric even. Come back soon, he says softly. What did you put in my drink? What did you do to me? The light, it's pretty. Did you fucking drug me? Menaces yearning, burning. Memories. A sunstroke. You've spoke to the Commodore in Grand Geo, but your memory is a little hazy. Are you a devil? What is happening here? You've lost 5 terror. Alright. What else we got? Purchase an element of dawn from the Commodore. The Commodore welcomes you, smiling, to his immaculate office. Crystals glitter in the walls. Of course, he says, glad to help, but we'll need to cover expenses for an element. The light only produces so many, you know. So I need vital intelligence and 50 supplies. Ooh, no, we can't do that. That's going to be way later. Engage an officer, the Carnelian exile. A dark-spectacled woman marches up to you in some haste. My lord, take me with you. I am no longer welcome here, and I will show you where we need to go. Okay. Welcome aboard. Here I am. A ship, I suppose, is both always here and never there, because there becomes here. Soft-spoken, a little mystical. How much does she see? Okay, 6. So you're a first officer. 6 mirrors, 3 pages. 6 mirrors, 3 veils. Speak to you. Increase my mirrors. What options do we have? She has a discomfiting, even irritating habit of answering your questions just before you finish speaking. Invite her to dine with you and ask her to remove her glasses. You'll need to tempt her with very finest gossip of the Z. Ask her to dine with you, but don't ask her to remove her glasses. Increase your mirrors. Tell her a few words of what you've learned, and she will do the same. Ask her, yes? At last, salt song. Right. Thoughtful, focused advice. She says a little, but each word is placed like a pin in a map. I'm going to fully increase my thing to 30. Very good. I do have 1, but I'm going to wait to use it. Alrighty. Any shops? Nothing in the shipyard. I know there's something bottom most left corner. But we're not gonna do that just yet because there's a lot of ships hanging around there. I do know what's there. There's like a big mechanical thingy mabob. We'll do that later. Now we're gonna go to Port Carnelian. Carnelian coast, far to the south, the neath roof glitters above the fountain of light. Oh, e-mustache. Stay away from me. Not looking to engage in any monstrosities right now. Glass chop of deep water, iron clatter of feet at the hatchway. Alright, let's get a port report going. I think we can actually do some more stuff. I'm gonna call at a room above the bookshop this time. Off the record. No, I'm retired now, he tells you cheerfully. His cockery is white as the moon and rimmed with gold. Over tea, he comments sympathetically on the governor's difficulties. I feel for the man, I really do. And asks probing questions regarding your travels. You manage to squeeze in a few of your own. Oh, the Khan is very fond of sapphires. Blue is his favorite color. Okay, this one set of a... Visit Murgatroyd's Imperial Tea Shop. Home away from home. They import the doilies from London, but the tea is local, blue and smoky. The crumpets are warm, the tablecloth's white. You almost imagine you were back in Vale Garden, except for the tiger lounging on a divan. It laps tea from an azure bowl, and complains about the recent nostalgic trend in poetry. That decreases our terror nicely. Iron quality's too low for that. Okay, buy some more supplies. One of those. Two of those. That's good. Ah, yes, they have that Cauldry Heart. Ooh. That's actually a really good... That's a really good ship. I'm gonna write this down. I need a deed for it, unfortunately, and I don't have. So we're gonna need to find that. I don't know if that's like specifically something we have to like find or do stuff in this area in order to get it. Anywho, now we set out for unknown waters. Crying Heights, where the blue prophets call the names of those about to die. Sailors praying. Some distance to the east. Andromeda's rocks. Becker Blight. Becker Blight, I should say. Hattie. There's something here. Port Addy. Where? I see it's right here, but how do I... Oh, do I have to go like a channel to get it? I guess I have to go through there. Maybe. No. How do I get there? Maybe I have to dive to get there. Perhaps. Maybe slap the side of the ship. Well, a port didn't really appear on my thing here. Unless there's like a way from the other side? I don't know. I'll come back later. It's not the port I really need to get to. I don't want to waste too much of my fuel. Adam's Way. Some distance to the east. The carmine tint to the waves are approaching Adam's Way, where flows the mountain's blood. Laughter from the foredeck. On a bed of monumental ruins, warehouses and way stations of shroom timber rise. Near Adam's Way, all ships that approach Adam's Way are intercepted by the gracious, the Presbyteriate splendidly headed coast guards. Oh, so this is where I might learn more about how to live forever. A quaint but inviolable tradition governs entry. You must tell them one of 3 stories. In return, you will be permitted to spend a single day in port. The tale of a city recently fallen. I don't have that. Unfinished tale. Tale of hell. Gracious are always eager for news of London. Gracious lean forwards avidly. The Presbyteriate has never explained its interest in devils. They are keen to hear what you learned of Mount Palmerston. Why are foreigners only allowed to spend a single day in Adam's Way? For your own protection, one of them explains kindly. Unsafe. The soil of the elder continent is dangerous to incomers, they claim. Those who linger can contact unfortunate conditions, hysteria, rapture, and animescence. The rumor that Presbyteriate law offers no protection to foreigners after dark? Errant nonsense. Okay, I gotta write this down. So for Adam's Way. We need 1 recent news. We need 1 unread log. And we need 1 port report. Report from Mount Palmerston. The gateway to the continent's treasures. Pelagast's Post. The sign at the door reads, "License for mortal trade." Okay, I don't really have anything to buy stuff with. Okay. Well, that will have to be another time. We're not going to be able to go further in. Point Livingston. Our food rations are getting a little low for my liking. Ooh, big fishy. Let's see. Butterfly bloom of light on the southern horizon. You approach Varchas, the mirrored city. Varchas, I should say. Varchas, the mirrored city where light was always the law. Restless nights. In the watches of the night, you pad softly past the hatch to the crew quarters. A man cries out softly in his sleep, desperately. Another. Inquire about their dreams the next morning. What did they see? Ignore them. The captain can't be seen to take these things seriously. Silence at the breakfast table. The crew is subdued as they take their meals, but all is quiet in the next watch. Right, we lost the terror. The burning white light of Varchas. The walled city of Varchas is a tangle of green vines and luminescent fungal flowers slow blooming around moldering stone. Quincunx of carved step towers rise over the walls and pour burning white light into the bleak sky. A rough, shadowed path leads from the docks to the mirrored gates of Varchas. 2 towering carved stone lamps throw their light on the angled mirrors, and a blue-cloaked guard stands in the reflected pool of light. The city is a beacon against the tree-hushed, sprawling darkness of the elder continent. In the far distance, a vast mountain glimmers. Choke on the smell. It is overpowering, sweet. It comes from the fungus growing wild all over the city's stones. The sailors wave you over. They are sitting on some upturned crakes on the docks, playing a game with mere chips and stylist snakes made of bone. Ask the guard a few questions. Never a bad idea to gather a little intelligence before heading into unknown waters or cities, as the case may be. Tell the guard you wish to enter. Well, what else are the gates for, if not to go through? Compile a port report. The Admiralty will want to know. The mirrored city and its glories. tone down the details of the light and its brilliance. You don't want to inspire envy in the Admiralty staff. The brightly lit town of Varchas allows visitors in limited numbers. Let me ask the guard a few questions. The blue-cloaked guard only acknowledges your existence when you step out of the darkness of the path into the light of the lamps. The guard stands in the middle of the pool of light, looking warily at the darkness beyond you. Up close, the guard's blue cloak is threadbare and mossy along the hem. A pattern of embroidered suns runs along the collar, but the gold thread is dull. The kohl around his eyes is smudged. "Well, Tomas," she asks, "are you going to ask your questions, or are you just going to stare?" Her tone is brusque, but her expression is curiously eager. You do not think Varchas receives many visitors. "Your name is not Tomas," you correct her politely. "Ask about the light. It seems a little wasteful, possibly even ostentatious." "Ask about her. Does she like her job? Does anyone? Ask about the city's customs. Best to know before you flout them. Easier to plan an escape route that way." You have no more questions. You're satisfied, or perhaps the guard's voice is beginning to grate a little. Let's first ask about the customs. "Don't touch the mirrors. Don't even look into the mirrors," she says, her voice hard. "And try very hard not to dream." Were you expecting something along the lines of "don't murder anyone or only wear red on special occasions"? Still, you nod, smile. Ask her about the light. "We must always walk in Mihir's light, so we burn our lamps night and day to banish darkness from the mirrored city," she tells you proudly. "If we let darkness corrupt us, we would not be Varchas any longer, but Tomas, like you." You wonder, is that so terrible a fate? Her mocking laugh answers you even before her words do. "Yes, it would be terrible indeed, Tomas." And before you ask, she adds, "No, I do not have any desire to leave Varchas. The rest of the Neath has fallen from Mihir's grace, and I have no wish to join them." "Your name is not Tomas," you correct her politely. Guard looks scandalized and tries to stop her ears. "All those who are not Varchasi are Tomas. You have been touched by darkness, and it has taken your name." She fixes you with an admonishing look and adds, "It is very ill-mannered to pretend you still have one." You begin to see a little why Varchas is not often visited. It looks like you will have to get used to be calling Tomas if you wish to enter. Ask about her. "It is a great honor to guard the mirrored city gates." She snaps defensively. She gestures to the edge of the pool of light, illuminating her post. "It is very dangerous. Even a small stumble, and I could fall into dark." Her voice goes thready. "I would be banished from Mir's grace. I would lose my name. That is why they only send the bravest outside the walls." You have no more questions. She looks a little disappointed, but does not try to engage you further. Let's choke on the smell. The flowers have a white, waxy leaves, which leave powdery traces on your fingers. The light comes from the city, has the same camphorous quality, and the smell, perfume worn too many days on the body, unread books left to turn to ink-stained pulp, a garden drowned and rotting in still water. Sailors wave you over. "You're not thinking of going in there?" The sailors gawk at you in unconcealed horror. They take turns telling you gruesome stories of Varchas, which they no doubt invented whole cloth. Some are convinced that the Varchasi render sailors into tallow to light their city. Others say they steal shadows and sell them to their masters. All of them are convinced that they blind any strangers who dare to gaze too long upon the city's secrets. "We're just waiting to be paid, and then we're off," one of the sailors says, nervously fingering a mirror chip. "I've only got one eye left, and I'd like to keep it." Tell the guard you wish to enter. Well, what else are gates for if not to go through? She makes a mark in her ledger before ringing a brass bell. The mirrors of the gates re- re- rearrange to give you space to pass, but never once allow a shadow to touch the guard. Our ways are not yours, Tomas. Remember that, and walk in the light of me here. Your eyes are blinded by brilliance of the light. The verdant rot smell is even thicker. The heat is so much flame, and reflected light presses oppressively against your skin. Your head pounds. It is a few minutes before your eyes adjust, and you can look around. Brass lamps, gilded sconces hang from every wall, and phosphorescent fungus grows moss-like upon doorways and ceilings. Cunningly arranged mirrors catch every drop of light and diffuse it till each cobblestone and rampart of the city is drenched in blazing and utterly without shadow. Who do you speak to? The firekeeper, dressed all in saffron, a pair of thick fireproof gloves dangle from a silver chain at her waist. A jewel-turbaned youth. He is winking at you. That is a furtive wink or a flirtatious one. Only one way to find out. Continue your explorations. Time to venture further than the outer district. I talk to this firekeeper. I'm too important to play guide to you, Tomas, she tells you before you even open your mouth. I'm the keeper of the Western Principal Mirror. She points up to the enormous multi-faced mirror set atop each of the city's 5 towers. I'm only here because I'm looking for my idiot brother. He's probably too busy pouring wine down some pretty dark-eyed boy's throat in a tavern. Is it a matter of great urgency, you wonder? He's late for his lamp checks in the sacred district, is her terse reply as she hurries away. If the Hotri found out, he'd be lucky to end up a lake dredger. Currents. Brother, the keeper of the Western Principal Mirror, has a weakness for wine and dark-eyed boys. Okay. You talk to this jewel-turbaned youth. He looks utterly overjoyed to make your acquaintance, the bangles on his wrist flashing as he presses his hands together in greeting. My friends and I would be honored if you would attend a small gathering with us, Tomas. We are so eager to hear about the world outside Varchas' city walls. It seems as an innocuous enough invitation. But then why does his gaze dart around so anxiously as he tells you how to find his mansion at the Eastern District? Seems innocuous enough. What's the worst that could happen? Continue my explorations. The mirrored city gleams invitingly. You'll get used to the smell in time. You walk galleried courtyards wreathed with vines and fungal blooms. Long, straight roadways crisscross the length and breadth of Varchas, the stone worn by the wells of carts and the tread of thousands of slippered feet. Lamplighters constantly check the fuel levels of the sconces and replace wicks. Firekeepers check the coiled spring mechanisms that control the angle of the mirrors. There is much to explore. Where will you go next? Entertainment in Varchas. There are bars and gaming houses to the west. The hospital. The hospital lies in the shadow of the southern tower. Literal shadow? I thought they didn't like shadows. The guardhouse. Down a side street. You can see the sun-blazoned flag from here. Temple of Mihir. It lies in the sacred district at the center of Varchas. Mansion of the jewel-turbaned youth in the eastern district. Inn. An evening, after the 5th bell, each Tomas is assigned a room. Pilgrimage to Amadri. The Angehortri seeks wisdom. The sick are ready to begin a long journey. The young and the restless have made their plans. The swords of the guard have been renewed. The pilgrimage is ready to begin. That's one thing. Where do I want to go? Go to this temple. The sound of bells grow louder and more reverberant as you approach. Temple of Mahir. The temple tower pierces through the city's heart, taller than the other 4 towers which stand at each of the cardinal points. Around the temple sprawls the sacred district, vine-covered stone shrines, still ponds glowing with algae, and flash-finned carp, priests in white, their wrists heavy with metal chains. There are no mirrors in the Temple of Mahir. The rest of the city has to make do with mirrored light and reflection, but Mahir's most sacred place is filled with hundreds of lamps and lit candles of hard-packed phosphorus and fungus. Listen to the mantras. In Varchas, the sun still shines, calls the sun priest, in a way of invocation. The assembled temple-goers raise their voices in well-worn reply. In Varchas, the sun still shines. The bas reliefs. Every surface of the temple is carved and worked. If you peer closer, the bas reliefs depict Varchas's fall into the Neath. Dreams of smoke. They seem like something one priest might understand if you have the mind to tell them. I don't have it. The Angrihortri. Varkasi, equivalent of king or governor. He is overseeing the rituals and giving you a slanted glance. A little too chancy a challenge. I'm going to try for the boss relief, though. The first panel, Mahir is depicted as the sun, beaming rays of thinly hammered gold onto the surface of a city, both peaceful and prosperous. The 5 towers are carved with loving detail, barely recognizable without the wreaths of fungal flowers and curling vines. In the next panel, Mahir blinks and the city turns to shards of onyx and jet slowly crumbling away. Mahir then becomes a broad-shouldered, sorrow-faced man, stalking the false-starred blackness of the Neath in search of his lost city. His eyes are picked out in orange-red carnelian and seem lit with inner fire. Varchas, as it is now, is conspicuously absent from the carvings, as if the stone carvers could not bear to chip its fallen outlines. Okay. First tower bell has sounded. Returning to Varchas. The walled city of Varchas is a tangle, okay? Yes. Boring white line, Lake City, Rochelle, have locks. Welcome. The guard at the mirrored gate smiles. Clearly she remembers you. Welcome to Lady Mahir. Okay. Continue my explorations. Check out this hospital. Are you feeling a little fevered? Do you hope to learn medical secrets, or perhaps you just enjoy the moans and flushed faces of sick and suffering? The charitable hospital is a long, galleried building divided into a series of curtained wards with their own light sources and mirror series. A dour-faced nurse glances at you expectantly. Which ward are you here to visit? The fungal infections ward. They keep it cool and closed off. The doctors and nurses all wear masks when they enter. How bad could a fungal infection be? The mirrorless room. The ward is locked several times over. The dour-faced nurse looks uncomfortable when you mention it. The open ward. You see patients sprawled on their beds playing cards and chatting to visitors. Most of them have minor injuries. Offer the service of the brisk campaigner. You've won her trust. She's prepared to come ashore. Okay. Offer the services of the haunted doctor. You've won his trust. He's prepared to come ashore. Offer your services. Haunted doctor, get in there. The dour-faced nurse watches you carefully as you assist the doctor in cleaning wounds and changing bandages. She gives you a satisfied nod. The guards are pleased to have new attendant and call you Nurse Tomas with welcome, warm mockery, which makes you feel part of their crew. The doctor essays a cautious smile. You see the nurse watch him consideringly. Good work, she says at the end of your shift, handing you each a cup of steaming mushroom tea, and retreat It revives you greatly. You detect a hint of tree sap liquor at the bottom of the cup. Something else. Something of the south. Second power bell has sounded. Gained an ire, gain heart, gain mirror. Nice. Why does it kick me out of the city every time a tower bell sounds? It's entertainment. Follow the clink of wine glasses and companion shouts. Entertainment. There aren't many available. Mahir is not a Puritan god. The nicer establishments in the city are lit with expensive imported gas and have little blue glowing scintillac statuettes scattered on the shelves. What takes your fancy? Turn to the city center. You're done here. Join the gaming table. They are playing on an ornate board with pieces of mirrored chips and snakes made of pone. The arguing priests. They have wine-drenched debate at one of the tables in the back. Do you care to listen in? Duelists. The courtyard is strewn with white sand. The duelists fight with curving twin-blade scimitars in each hand. You could try your luck in an exhibition, a match. I'm gonna wait, go back. Check the guardhouse. Follow a stream of white cloaks. The guardhouse, a modest stone building with bas-relief lintels, and wide, unshuttered windows. The stylized sun of Mahir flutters from a silk flag above the portico. It is a scene of controlled chaos. You can see the white-cloaked guards bustling to and fro within, shouting companionably to each other, while a stream of fungus caterers, merchants, and ordinary citizens petition them. What's going on? Is it a particularly busy day, or are they always so besieged? A dream of smoke. Rest of the guards have some advice. Hint at the Jewel Turpin youth's activities. You can leave out the bit where you told the gathering a forbidden story and guide over any name of particular names. Train with the guards. There is a formation of new recruits doing basic forms in the courtyard. That's what's going on. We're preparing for the pilgrimage to Amaradri, the Mountain of Light, a young guard tells you, stamping yet another merchant's application. It always turns into a bit of a festival. Everyone wants permission to go, and so they come to Harangura, harangu us when the sun priests turn them away. Is it a religious pilgrimage? Well, a bit. She makes a face. Every merchant in the city suddenly becomes so very devout to Mahir when the pilgrimage season comes. Anyway, when you have completed certain stories in the city, the pilgrimage will begin, opening new opportunities. Third bell has tolled. Oh, now I'm not kicked out. Turn to the center. What's going on at the Jewel Turban guys thing? Well, he did invite you after all. You're not entirely sure what you were expecting from the Jewel Turban youth's invitation. Perhaps a candlelit dinner, a genteel seduction. It turns out to be an evening of card games and chilled wine with his rather eclectic collection of friends. But as the wine is drunk and the cards are played, the gathering takes on a clearly political tone. A raggedly dressed artisan begins complaining of the Angahortri's tradition restrictions. A novice priest points out contradictions in Mihiri's mantras. A stone carver questions whether his daughter should also have to follow in the same profession. Will you, the jewel-turbaned youth stares at you, licking his lips, will you tell us a story? It is not wise, declined firmly. It is not wise to become involved in politics, especially politics that are not your own. You will leave and not return. Tell them of yourself. It might be nice to be honest, especially to a group of people you'll never have to meet again. Return to the city center. You're finished here for now, but the invitation will remain open. That's a very fanciful tale. It's practically a sailor's profession. Tell a wanderer's tale, full of sea salt darkness and creaking ships. Hmm. Hmm. Let me see what else, if we have anything else to do. I'll tell you about myself. You wet your throat with tart wine and fix your eyes on a carved lintel, and begin your own somewhat convoluted tale. At the end, they look slightly dissatisfied, slightly relieved. We were hoping, the jewel-turbaned youth clears his throat, that you would tell us, He pitched his voice lower. Lies. You are a little insulted, after all. It's nothing. It's not as if you make a habit of telling strangers of your past. I mean, no insult, he added placatingly. We only have true stories here in Varchas, and no inventions, no made-up tales. Oh. Okay, yeah, I'm not for that at all. The Kells of the Towers. Varchas has 5 mirrored towers. When each sounded its bell, it's his evening. 4th bell. I don't have enough things for that, though, so return to the center. Back to that hospital. Or, actually, we could do something here. Let's talk to these priests. No, no, no. The initiate shakes her fist at the irate novice. You cannot undermine a heard text with mantras from remembered ones. The difference might seem trivial to you, but apparently it is a subject of heated theological debate. A few of the other patrons look on indulgently and offer bits of scripture or shouted exhortation. 5th bell sounded. It is evening. Let's go to the inn. At evening, after the 5th bell, the light is endless and merciless. Will you sleep? All visitors to Varchas are given one night's accommodation in the city's only inn. It is a handsome stone mansion arranged around a pleasantly cool courtyard. Frescoes of city life are painted on the walls. Given how few visitors Varchas hosts, you suspect the inn is more usually used by philandering locals. Evening falls, or does it? The town's 5 principal mirrors are mounted on coil spring mechanisms and alter their angles subtly to create the impression of evening across the city. The firekeepers throw pinches of color powder into the lamps, and the quality of light yellows into a softer brightness. The wine-mazed lamplighter. He is dressed in saffron robes and is indeed pouring wine down the throat of a very attractive, dark-eyed boy. You could tell him his sister is looking for him. The kitchens. The smell of cooking mingles with the fungus rot, but you aren't going to let that put you off from food. Courtyard. Cushions are arranged around the marble fountain. In the middle of musicians pluck their instruments under the shade of twisted yellow leaves. I could probably do that. Sleep? The bed is low and wide, draped with cotton sheets, stamped with vegetable dye patterns in muted greens and blues. Do I at least get a face mask? Don't sleep. It won't be difficult to stay awake in this constant life, but the lack of rest will take its toll. Let's first tell the person. You stare in horror, spilling burgundy red wine everywhere. He stares up in horror, spilling burgundy red wine everywhere. His young companion looks irritated. I'm late, he shouts. Mihir, forgive me. The anger Hortri is going to skin me alive. He pumps your hand in gratitude. Thank you, Tomas. I won't forget this. Here, take my art jewels. Okay, nice. Kitchens. Courtyard. I'll check the courtyard. Their songs are curiously prosaic, the lyrics more like a biographical report than a poetic invention. You listen to the lake dredger's waterlogged, lotus-rooted dirge. You sway to the slow, steady ballad of the fungus collectors and join in the lamplighters' quick-footed dance, which mimics their evening rounds. The evening finishes with the song of Mihir, which is sung to the accompaniment of stringed instruments and drums and polished glass prisms, which split the white light into rainbows in counterpoint to notes. Seated in mirrors. Through that, it is night, although there is no darkness in Varchas. Time to sleep. Let us sleep. You fall into sleep easily despite the bright light, but your dreams are full of whispering, glittering smokes, mirror vapors that coil into reflection, warping shapes. You see your limbs bend, your skin slough, your eyes twist. You wake with your heart pounding. Your nostrils are full of fungal rot smell of Varchas. Your body is always as it always was, but somehow it is not as comforting as it should be. Dreams of smoke. Your permitted time in Varchas is over. Time to go. Until next time. Dawn in Varchas. Outsider time in Varchas is strictly rationed. Each morning at dawn, the guard visits the inn to eject any Tomas they find. They are polite, but very defiant. Into the dark. Return, the guard tells you, but not yet. With that, they usher you into the darkness beyond the walls. You blink, mirror dazzles from your eyes. It's cold out here. Ah, I'm back at the dark. Very nice. Not yet, Tomas. We dare not admit too many outsiders at once. Wait your return. Return soon. Alrighty. Well, that was a journey. How long was I in there for? Oh, actually, that's gonna have to be it. Alright, so that was a pretty good hour. I'm gonna end it here, and then I'm gonna continue in just a bit. Alright, take care, everybody. Ciao, ciao.